Pepsiman, the mascot of the Pepsi Corporation.
And Marshall, Paw Patrol's lovable goofball.
When it comes down to mascots, these two are probably the best at representing what they do.
You know, you could really use more energy.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, I'm Domination, and this is my idiotic assistant Pitts, and we're here to analyze your stats, powers, and abilities, find who will win a NEXUS battle. In the hot summer of 1990, mid-1990, Pepsi needed someone to bring in the sales, a mascot you might say, to really spread the word of Pepsi and to make people drink it, no matter how far away. They made the one, the only
Pepsiman! Okay, before I can know, what is he?
I think he's a living Pepsi can? I don't know. Well, he can transform into one and has a weird ass mouth.
He also became one of the hood! Weird.
Well, Pepsiman only has one goal in life, to give people Pepsi. The commercials normally show him running towards a house, breaking into the house, summoning Pepsi out of nowhere, and failing to jump out a window. Despite that, he will literally do incredible things to give them Pepsi. Like the time he ran from Maui to Vail in under 5 seconds. Looking at this map, it's about 3,203 miles apart from each other, and looking at the fact it took 5 cents, that there a little bit of math, would be moving 2,106 miles per hour. That's almost 3 times the speed of sound. There was also a time he broke through a brick wall. Looking at the density and the height of it, he would have to be punching with the force of, which is about 6,300 newtons. That's like being hit by a car. Impressive.
His impressive stats, he become a superhero or something, but no, he just spreads the word of the terrible tasting Pepsi products. Despite his lack of eyes, he also somehow owns a Corvette.
A Pepsiman that's weird, like really quickly, but it does give us more abilities to work with, like danger, intuition, but it mostly uses it for thirsty people, and time stop, which lasts for 10 seconds.
That's all in Deal's time stop. Do you even have 10 people with Pepsi's we can go by stadium to a mountain size? And they even fly.
Even has armor Cormac. The source of his power is a thing known as the Pepsi Force. I don't know much about this topic, so I decided to introduce you to one of my creations, introducing Apex. I started finally having you on the show, Apex.
Yes, well, the idiot has been taking the spotlight anyways. I've done research on this Pepsi Force. Pepsi Force A is enough to spread across the universe, although he hasn't used the ultimate power of it. He has been able to use it to create forms such as Pepsiman mats, although it only gets into the mountain level, not the universal. Despite the high amount of Pepsi Force he has, this form does bring him rather quickly. Well, how was that?
Mid.
Well, did you know after looking at his biology, he's actually related to Transformers?
He is still enough to fight with a trash can on his head, and fight other people like Cola Man. Yeah, Pepsi Man, that's a little weird.
Yeah, but he's still no hero, right?
Well, despite not being an official hero, he is quite strong and quite skilled. Trust me, it takes a lot of time to master those armor core mats. Even when he's not a hero, he's still there for the fandom. Even when their own company forgets about them, there's always a fandom looking for new things to give him and things that don't make sense. So in the end of the day, there is no real man like the Pepsi Man. This place, you probably know the Paw Patrol, an elite group of pups and one kid who are destined to save Adventure Bay no matter how big the problem, and Adventure City. Consisting of pups like Chase, the police pup, and Sky, the air rescue pup, and the construction pup, Rubble, along with the recycling pup, Rocky, and the water rescue pup, Zuma. We're not here to talk about them, we're here to talk about the one and only fire pup of the group, Marshall.
Boss, despite everything, how's he paramedic? He's clumsy. I mean, like, really clumsy. And despite being one of the group, he keeps on chirping, keeps on making terrible jokes. The time he got stuck in an ice block. Or the time he saw his head stuck into his own pool. Nothing impressive about him.
Like the time he once saw launch from the lookout all the way to the other side of the bridge and back.
Yeah, like I said, not impressive. Wait, what?
Yup. Bridge looks like the Golden Gate Bridge, which is about 1 mile long. To get launched from that distance and back means you'll be suffering around 322,000 joules, or in short terms, 76 grams of TNT.
How?
Yeah, and despite his clumsiness, he was able to fly Sky's Mach 30 winds, which is the first supersonic thing flown.
Yeah, that's true, but is that it?
Nope. And him and other pilots were also able to dodge actual beam of light. Yeah.
At least there's no impressive strength feat, right?
Definitely to mention he's compared to Chase who once pulled a rope climb course which was around 42,000 pounds, or 21 tons. It's a wide range of versatility with his pup pack with water cannon and a water jetpack. But if he wants a little magic, he can use Dragon Tooth to call upon a dragon for help. And his water cannon is somehow powerful enough to put out dragon fire, which is around 1500 degrees Fahrenheit, where it normally takes gallons of water to put out. He even has a fire truck, which is bigger, and then there's the one in the movie, which has way more ways to put out fire, and also a high pressurized water cannon.
So compared to my fire truck.
So last time you used that thing, you flooded the house. He has a wide range of puppet for most anything, even have a wide range of vehicles, which he's gathered over years. And looking at everything he had would be way too long, especially with his pup food training, but everything changed when the meteor struck Adventure City, which he survived getting hit by, which is equivalent to 1,000 tons of TNT. Well, that's not the impressive thing that came out of this. The impressive thing that came out of this were the power crystals, which turned them into mighty pups. And Dave Chase the ability of speed, and Dave Sky the ability of flight, and Dave Marshall, ironically enough, the power of the flame. And this flame can be hot enough to overheat machinery or melt entire walls of ice, even weld Adventure Bay to the mainland. And with flame, he could even jump higher than Copycat's tower, thanks to immature dame. It's near mid-cloud level, which is around 4.35 miles high. And looking if I took 2 seconds to get up there, you must be moving 2.75 thousand miles per second, or 4.865 miles per hour, which is just insane. Thanks to a previous battle, with him scaling too much, Chase was able to dodge Vittoria's Ventus lightning, which means he had 2 times the speed of light reaction time.
Actually, boss, after making my own research, and thanks to some help with our channel, making description, I actually found that it was actually moving 1,540 times the speed of light, which is really impressive for a little puppy. What?
It's weird that I'm strong in its pits. And crystals by themselves are incredibly powerful, and been stated to be stronger than any source of energy currently on Earth. Is sun radiation. You know, the power of the sun, or 44 quadrillion watts. And joules is around 3,800 quintillion joules.
Even with all this, there's nothing stopping him from running away.
Dolly overheard the other pups talking about how clumsy and silly he is, so he ran away. But it's not his fault it's clumsy. It's the person who wrote it in. And that person is Heath Chapman, who was one of the people who wrote down Marshall's clumsiness. Even with his clumsiness, Marshall's overcome it to save the day. Many times before, no matter how big the meteor, no matter how clumsy the pup, the Paw Patrol will always be there to save the day. We went through both characters' powers and abilities. Now it's time to find out who will win a NEXUS battle.
yourself. Never mess with a dog, especially from this series.
Yeah, we have a fandom as crazy as Pepsi Man. You would think he might take it, but we weren't using that. Because that was either not canon or not even made sense. Or, like, at all.
And for them still to be able to take planetary attacks, it only came down to 4 categories.
Yup, strength, speed, arsenal, and power. And starting with strength. This is pretty clear cut. Pepsi Man can destroy walls, while Marshall can lift 21 tons. When it comes to super forms, Pepsi Man can destroy mountains with about 11 megatons of TNT.
Impressive, but remember when Marshall welded Adventure Bay to the mainland?
That island wasn't staying in place. It was actively floating away, which means the welding must have moved it back into place. Let's see, it takes 4.3 gigatons of TNT to move an island such as Cyprus back into place. And since Adventure Base twice that size, which means Marshall's welding must be packing strength of 8.6 gigatons of TNT, way stronger than Pepsi Man by a lot. Strength goes to Marshall. Next is a little harder. Speed. Immediately, Pepsi Man is faster than Marshall with over 1,000 and him only having near 4. But Pepsi Man couldn't hit Marshall because it was massively faster than light reaction time, and Pepsi Man gets caught off guard by windows. Kinda hard to put, so let's just put speed as a tie. It's Arsenal. Marshall may have been more versatile, but when it comes to destructive power, Marshall is extremely lacking, while Pepsi Man has a literal armor core mech. So yeah, Arsenal goes to Pepsi Man.
But before we know power, what will happen if Marshall's clumsiness takes him down?
That's actually a pretty good question, Pitts, and the answer is just one simple no. Because yes, Marshall's clumsiness is bad, but when he's focused, it doesn't really affect him as much as doing normal things like playing around with his friends and having fun. And in a fight like this, it's doubtful that will affect him as much. All roads lead to power. There's just sheer power. Pepsi Man has enough Pepsi Wars to spread across the universe, but like, same problem with Marshall, he doesn't have any destructive power, at least none that we've shown. But the crystals, has been said before, had more power than sun radiation, which is over 3,800 quintillion joules. And when you convert that into TNT, I can't believe I say this, but 1.8 of all 6 of these crystals has power equal to 80.9 million megatons of TNT. That's more powerful than the taser bomb. Which means Marshall takes the final edge in this fight. Sure, Pepsi Man had abilities that could prolong this fight like time stops and pelting with Pepsi Man had more destructive arsenal, but Marshall had every other advantage to take the win.
Wow, I guess you say Pepsi Man had a rough time. That's how I thought so.
Of course you do. The winner is Marshall.